What's up, Sober Family? Welcome back. This is another episode of Recovery Talk. And I'm excited about this one as well. I know a lot of you guys enjoyed yesterday's show, but today I got my man Nick on. Now, Nick is he's the founder, he's the owner, the visionary behind Team 12. Now, he's going to be coming on telling his story, but to give you guys a little bit of background about my friend Nick is he started, he was in the fashion industry. He started printing stuff back when he was in grade school. He, started making a couple shirts, and that really turned into his passion. But he got mixed up in, with drugs, and that took the place of drugs takes the place of everything else that's important to us in our lives. But now that Nick's been sober, he's back on the horse, and he's been, doing it out there in Pasadena. I'm so excited for you guys to all hear his story. So we're gonna wait for a second while he gets on here. And I hope you guys are having a great Sunday, by the way. Hey, look, there's my wife. And you guys, I always actually tend to forget this, but while the show is going on, if you guys have questions for any of my guests, for Nick, anybody in the future, please, ask them in the comments below. There's also a place you can actually write a question. If you guys look at your phone or your computer, it says there's a question mark there with a little thing in it where you can actually ask a question. So here we go. What's up, Marty? What's grounded, fam? Oh, Johnny Jill. What's up, bro? Thank you guys so much, man, for tuning in. Addiction Blueprint, what up? Thank you guys. I really appreciate all the love and support. What's grounded? Oh man, I love that intro, Johnny. Let me see. Okay, let's get Nick up in here soon. What's up, Haley? Nick, what's up, bro?
What's good, bro?
Oh man, you all clean cut today. Ooh, I like that.
Shaved a little bit. I shave every now and then.
Yeah.
when I have time, when I can find a minute.
I know, bro. Shoot, I seen, since I've known you how busy you are. So yeah, shaving is, not at the top of my priority list either,
Yeah, bro. I fit it in when I can. So last night, I knew I was coming on today, so I was like, all right, I better shave. I better put on a fresh face.
Yeah, right on, bro. Hey, thanks again, Nick, for doing this, for joining me, sharing your story, how you went from the problem of drug addiction to the solution of recovery. I just talked a little bit about you, introduce you to everybody that's viewing, because I always post these so people can go back and watch it later as well. Looks like you're at the shop, bro.
Oh, bro.
You ever take it?
Do I go anywhere else, bro?
I know, you practically live there.
I don't. I basically live here, bro. I almost moved in here not too long ago, but I do have a real home. I go there and I sleep for a couple hours, a few hours every day, and other than that, I'm here.
Yeah, that's great, man. Outside of recovery and being sober, because I was an entrepreneur too, so meeting you and seeing what you're doing just in that aspect of it for me is really inspiring, bro. Like just that part, on top of it, you're sober, so it's like double. It's great, bro. Johnny says lies.
Johnny GP, what's up, bro? Can we get Johnny in? Can we get a three-way in here?
I know. You know what? As far as I know, I looked into it. Instagram, they don't do it. It's only one person at a time now. I know. Like we gotta do it some other way.
Shout out to Johnny Gio.
Yeah, Grounded Phoenix. What's grounded, fam? Oh, I love that intro. There he is. Marcos. Okay, bro. So okay, Nick, before we get started, before you tell your story, I'm just gonna ask you a few questions. So the first one is, how long have you been sober?
I've been sober since May 13th, 2017. So I got a little over 3.5 years.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Coming up on that number 4. And then, so where are you from?
I was born in Long Beach, raised in Inland Empire, and I'm in Pasadena now.
Oh, all right. And then, so the last question before you get into your story, what was your choice in drink and or drug?
Bro, opiates and downers, mainly like heroin and Xanax. Like
Yeah.
heroin, Xanax, Soma, those combos like that, those killer cocktails. That was
Yeah.
my stuff. Was downers
I
for
know
sure.
when I was talking to you the other day, you told me this a few times though, how you can't even keep count how much times you've been Narcan, you know?
Bro, I lost count. I literally lost count. Like at least 5 or 6,
Yeah.
maybe upwards of 10. I don't know, bro. I mean, that started to be routine business, waking up in hospitals.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, bro. So at this time, I can give you the floor to tell us your story. But I'm excited because I mean I've known you for a little while, but I don't know your complete story. So I'm excited about it.
Okay.
Yeah. All
Okay,
right.
here we go. All right. Well, I'm honestly like I'm gonna try and skip through a lot of the earlier stuff and a
Yeah.
lot of the like using because I mean we all did the same stuff out there, you know. Like I used all day every day. But like a quick background, like yeah, I grew up in the Inland Empire. Like I come from a good family. I did well in school. Graduated high school with like high honors, scholarships to college. But by the time like I was graduating high school, I was already I was like smoking weed daily, like using like a little bit of coke here and there. And like I had different plans.
Yeah.
College was not in the playbook. Like I went to orientation for Cal Poly Pomona.
Mm-hmm.
And I, I looked around the campus and I met some of the other people and I was like, yo, this is not what I want to do. Like, this is not my jam. I'm trying to party. I'm trying to drink and sniff coke and do shit like that. So college was out the playbook. But like shortly after that, I ended up actually starting like a different clothing line. Me and my best friends from high school opened up a shop. Kind of similar to like what I do now, but like we made clothes and we chilled and we smoked weed and we made clothes and art and that's what we did. And we did that for a few years and started to see some success in that actually. But because of my addiction, it wasn't sustainable. Like, that addiction comes before anything else. Yeah. So despite how much fun I was having and how much success I was starting to see, the drugs are more powerful, like at that time it was like the Oxycontin, especially like I'm a survivor of the Oxycontin epidemic from the early 2000s, like the OC80s, like that was my jam. Like that's what I got started on was those 80s. And, shit got really bad with them. And then, one thing led to another. And then I ended up losing the business. My partners were like, bro, like you're out of control. And, at the time, like took it offensively and was like, no, like, you're out of control. Like, how dare you call me an addict? Like, yeah. This is a travesty. How dare you? And I took it very offensively. I had no idea. Like how bad I was getting, and from there. But that was kind of like a turning point because once I left that shop and I left that business, that was also like my social circle and like a lot of my friends. Like that was my identity up until that point. Yeah. So after I left that, like things took a turn for the worse. And then really from that point, it was just the searching like for that next high, like those that next fix, like those next pills from then on out. Like I was on a mission just to find pills, doctor shop. Like I was seeing multiple doctors. At one point I had like 5 or 6 different doctors and I was getting like Oxys and Xanax from each of them. And that was a story for a while. I guess, like kind of quickly, I was seeing all these doctors, right? And then what had happened was the epidemic started getting really bad. So a lot of the doctors started to, cut off scripts and starting to like really scrutinize like who was getting pills. And then, so from that point, I went from like 5 or 6 doctors down to like 1 or 2. and then like my addiction was like no longer wasn't very sustainable going forward with just like one or two scripts per month. So then like I started stealing scripts from doctors.
Whoa.
And that would work sometimes, but then what would happen a lot of the time too, I'd go to the pharmacy and they would want to verify the prescription, and that would jam me up, you know, like they get on the phone and it's a stolen script. So like I'm gone, I'm not getting my pills, and then it was just getting too difficult. So from there, I already had like a background in like Photoshop and graphic design and design work. So like I kind of like put like my skills to use, and by that I was able to like make my own prescriptions on the computer, like super legit looking prescriptions. And then I just started prescribing myself like whatever I wanted, and it was crazy. It was really crazy. And I did that for years, but then like with that just led me down an even deeper, darker path towards self-destruction, because I had like whatever I wanted at my disposal. And it was at that point I was like overdosing all the time, because like I'm getting oxys and Xanax and Somas, and I'm taking them all at once, and then like I'm throwing like some heroin in there. And it got super sketchy, and then I started getting arrested all the time. I'd go to jail. I was going to jail like a couple times a year, and I would go to jail, and then they started throwing like heavier charges at me. I dodged like a lot of cases. I had a lot of cases filed against me, but none of them really stuck. I either like bailed out, they dropped the charges. I had like a couple DA rejected cases. Other things that just like were like, I got arrested with like all this evidence, but they like ended up like not pressing. It was just weird. It was like dodging bullet after bullet, and I never really ended up having to do like a very serious stint in jail. Never went to prison, and I just kept getting like really lucky. So yeah, that's what it was like for a while, up until my middle 20s, 23, 24, 25. Then maybe around like 25, like a lot of that stuff started to get like real bad, like real old. And I just try to keep pushing forward, and I try to keep you know, getting scripts and using drugs. And it was just getting well, you know, it's like they say, like the beginning was, there's like 3 stages. In the beginning, it's fun, and then the middle stage is like fun with problems, and then that third stage is just nothing but problems. And like right around 25, I had hit that third stage where it was just nothing but problems, and shit got real bad. And I really started to kind of look for some help, like real help and solutions. I went to like plenty of treatment centers, detoxes, all that stuff, and I didn't really it didn't really stick with me. It didn't really stick with me until I entered my last treatment center at 28, when I, you know, I've been sober since then. That was May 13th, 2020. So you know, that's a super condensed version, but that's a basic overview of what I went through, and the stuff that I was doing, and yeah, like sober now since May 13th, 2017.
Yeah, and that's great, bro. You know, like, and you know, I got sober in a 12-step program, and what I learned is that, you know, it's important for when, you know, I share, to tell people like, you know, what I was like, what happened, and what I'm like today, for the sake of them, so they can relate and identify. But you know, as the years went on, you know, I got into a habit of, just because my mindset changed to where I really only focus on the positive. So I don't like to drug along and drink along a whole lot. Like, hey, you know, I can tell you a few things, and you should be able to know if you can relate to me or not. You know what I mean? It doesn't even have to be, oh, I did, you know, 2 ounces of cocaine or whatever. It could be the feelings that these people identify with, the behaviors that I had and things like that. You know, because I've been to some meetings that just like, all they talked about how much drugs they use. I'm like, I feel like using now. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So
I'm not
yeah,
into that either, bro. I try to like skip through that. Like when I'm in meetings, I really try to share about the solution and what I'm doing today, and like what's helping me stay sober. on a day-to-day basis. I really try to stay out of like what I used to do and the drugs that I did and the times I got arrested and all that. Like, I understand it provides like some value, and sometimes people need to hear that so we can kind of relate a little better. But like, trust and believe, I was a fucking hardcore addict, and I did like all that stuff, and I got really bad, and that's what it looked like. It was bad.
Yeah. No, for me too, because I can relate, man, to you. You know, a lot, because it got bad for me. By the time I was like 19-ish, around there, I already started having the thoughts of, man, you kind of you got a problem, bro. You know, but it was very short lived, those kind of thoughts, because I was around people that drank all night, that did drugs all night, all day. So to me, that was normal. You know, that was normal to me.
Yeah.
And
You're a
then,
product of your environment.
yeah, exactly. Then I did have another, group of people I hang around with where that wasn't normal. So like in my mind, it's kind of like, okay, which one is really normal? So I was, I couldn't figure it out. So I wouldn't even think about that. At that time, if the thought came to drink or use or do both, I would just entertain it, and I'll go figure out how to do it. Because I wasn't really working at that time, at that age. But you'd be surprised, like people who watch this that have never struggled with drugs and alcohol, you'd be surprised. As broke people, we can still find drugs, like no problem. With no money, it's not gonna be a problem. Like I say, we're drug addicts, alcoholics. We're the hardest workers on the planet, bro.
Bro, I was out there hustling, bro. You should have seen what I went through to develop these fake scripts, bro. I had to procure the blank paper from the dark web, and I would spend hours at a time on Photoshop, like down to the pixel on the script. So it was like perfect. You would have never been able to tell these scripts were fake and printed right out of my printer. That's the type of stuff that we did, bro. Like, I went to like any lengths necessary to get that next fix.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. I did the same exact thing. So now, like, moving forward now, Nick, some people that follow me are on now, and they don't know, but they see this all the time. I'm always wearing this stuff. So could you tell people what that's all about and how you started and everything?
Of course, bro. Yeah, and first and foremost, bro, I really appreciate all this free marketing that you give me, bro.
Yeah.
Every time I'm on social media, bro, like I see you on there, you're rocking the 12. Yeah. Like, I feel like sometimes like you're rocking it harder than me, but I'm like, that's my dude. That's my dude, Alika, bro. Like, always showing love, dude. And I got a lot of love for you, bro. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
But yeah, dude, like, I can't really. Team 12 has evolved so much from the beginning that what I was trying to do in the beginning when I started it almost looks completely different than where it is now. Yeah. It really has. It's really taken on, it's evolved, and it's taken on like a life of its own, and it's become something much bigger than what I initially planned for. But like I shared about, I had a shop before, and I always made clothes. I was making clothes even before that shop in like, I think 8th grade, 9th grade. I was printing shirts and I was flipping them on the blacktop. I was flipping them at lunch. I was selling them to my friends. So that was like always in my blood. So when I got sober, that was like a part of me, and it was something I always kind of felt like I wanted to get back to. So like I had that idea, like even with like a couple months sober, I was thinking about, what's the next move? Like, am I going to start making some clothes again? Am I going to start a new brand? And that was early on, and I had ran with it, and I had considered it for a while. Then between like a year and two years clean, I was like, like I'm really gonna do this. And then I kind of sat on it for a minute. I didn't quite pull the trigger until I was at work, and we got these memos. These memos were sent to all of our employees, and it was from upper management, and it had said, I work at a treatment center now still. And it said, hey guys, our donation department is getting really thin on clothing for the patients. So please go home and clean out your closets and bring in clothing donations for the patients. And, I'm reading this, and to me, it was just like one of those signs. It was like, okay, like, Impact is needing clothes. These patients are needing clothes. Like, I have like a background in it. I've been thinking about doing this anyways. So like, let's really get this, let's get this going. So, it was like a week or two after that I placed my first order for some shirts, and it took, that's like where it started. But since then it's evolved, and it's evolved into something so much bigger than that. And, you know, like there's still like that aspect of wanting to give out free clothes and provide treatment centers for clothes, provide treatment centers with clothes. And I do that. I actually have I got a little package right now. If he's in here, I'm not sure. Can I see the viewers in here? My boy Vincent. No, he's not in here. Yeah, he works at a treatment center. He was asking me for some clothes. I'm about to print up a bunch of them. They're ready to go, so I'm gonna be donating those. But so that's always been part of the vision. But like since then, when I first started, I didn't have the intentions to like make it a community organization. I just kind of wanted to make some clothes and kind of honestly like supplement my income a little bit and like make clothes, and that was it. But it's evolved so much into something entirely different.
Yeah, and I know what you're talking about. Because we've talked a bunch of times about this. Because like you just said, like it just started off just, you know, making clothes, but then that shop in Pasadena is not specifically for Team 12. Remember how we talked about this? You shared it with me. So you want to share with everybody else, like, because it's not just Team 12 and I print here and then that's it. There's more to it than just that.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, I wanted to go there anyways. But yeah, that's how it started. It started with that memo and a few shirts, and that got the ball rolling. But then what took place was, first I was outsourcing shirts to print shops that were printing for me. And then I got into a shop that my cousin owns in Hollywood. So I started to do some work with him, and then I started to print my own shirts there. And then I kind of saw like, okay, like this is easier to just print my own shirts rather than having to outsource it. One thing led to another over there. I ended up splitting ways with my cousin, and this was like right when the pandemic kicked off. And so like there was a period of downtime, but during that downtime, I was just like plotting the next move for Team 12 because I was out of a shop. You know, the pandemic was going on, things were kind of dead. So during that time though, I started thinking, okay, I'll rent like my own shop. But like my intentions to rent my own shop was like a couple 100 square feet, just to put just enough room to put some of the basic machinery in there and just print a few shirts. Like that was it. I started looking for a shop, and then like I stumbled upon this ad for where we're at now. Well, I stumbled upon a couple ads. Actually, I visited like this other site and I almost rented there. That didn't work out. But where I'm at now ended up being like a really good deal, because at the time when I first stumbled upon it, you know, COVID was going on. So they had a bunch of renters that had just bounced. And so they were looking for renters. So like the rent was really cheap for where we're at right here. And I put my application in. Actually, you know what? Before I put my application in, I read the process, and it was like a lengthy process. And in there was a background check. And I was like, dude, like I got some felonies on my record. Like I got a rap sheet, and I was like, man, like I don't think I'm gonna get it, but I'm gonna try anyway. So like I put in the application, and then they ended up emailing me like a week later and was like, hey, you got the spot. And I was kind of tripping on it. I wasn't really expecting that. And when I came to sign for the place, I ended up seeing some documentation I saw some documentation that was on the table that I don't think was meant for me to see, but basically on the documentation it said that like I was like an upstanding member of society, and like I have no prior convictions, and it was like a glowing review, which I was tripping on. And I don't know why the lady wrote it up like that. I don't know, but I guess it's one of those God shots where she looked past, either she didn't do the background check or she looked past what was in there. No, actually, no. You know what? I know she did the background check because it had listed a minor conviction that I had like years ago. So in order for her to get that information, she must have had to do some kind of background check. So right. I don't know. It was just a trip how I ended up here. But basically, when I got here, pandemic was still going on and meetings were shutting down everywhere. And we have like almost 1,000 square feet here. So I'm seeing meetings shut down, and I'm like using my brain, and I'm like, wow, you know, like I'm going to have meetings here.
Yeah.
You know, meetings are essential. Like it's not cool that meetings are just shutting down everywhere and like they're not considered essential. And like we have this space, so I may as well utilize it and give the community a place to still continue to meet for meetings. And so like that's what I started to do. Like I put a lot of work into the shop to like make it kind of cool and you know make it attractive and appealing, so people like want to be here. And that's what I did. And so we started having the meetings here, and then from there, like stepping into that role as like a community organization, or as like a space for like the community to meet at, ended up opening so many other doors that like I never had planned on, and like wasn't really my intention. Because like even when I started the meetings here, it was my intention was just like have a couple meetings here and like that was it. I didn't really see it as like becoming like a community organization. But I started meeting a bunch of people, and I started getting like a lot of love from people that were like, dude, like I really like what you're doing. This is so cool. Like this is so cool. Like thank you for having these meetings. Like I've had a lot of people like thank me, like it feels like undeserved, because like it's just like they personally thank me, like, dude, thank you for having this. Like there's no other in-person meetings to go to, and like this is the best meeting that I've been to, and like I want to keep coming back. And like I'm hearing this from more and more people. And then I was like, dude, like we're really onto something here. Like we could really become like a bigger organization for the community, and like let's run it, like let's do this. So that you know, that really snowballed. It really snowballed into something way bigger.
You know, before I even knew you, I actually was going to those because you started doing them live on Instagram, and I would attend those. You know, this is before I even knew you yet. Yeah, it's pretty dope, bro.
Yeah, thank you for coming, dude. Like, it just keeps growing because of people like you, like because of people that keep showing. Like in the beginning, it was just in person. And then like we threw it on Instagram Live, and like people like you started showing up like week after week. And then from there, I talked to my sponsor, and I was like, dude, like our in-person attendance keeps fluctuating. I thought for a minute of even canceling in person, because the numbers started going up and we were only getting like 10, 12 people at our in-person meeting. So I talked to my sponsor, and he was like, dude, like hold it on Zoom too. So I usually come up with like these really good ideas, but that was one. I was like, bro, like why didn't I think of that? Like, so I started doing that, and then having it on Zoom also has really helped it grow. So, you know, we do it now like in person, Instagram Live, and Zoom, and it just keeps growing and growing. And you know, it's all thanks to people like you who just keep showing up like week after week, and it's like it's crazy, bro. It's super crazy.
I mean, and it's great, man. I look forward to those meetings, bro, because Nick's meeting, the Team 12 meeting, it's on Fridays at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, but it's a non-denominational meeting. Everybody's invited. It's not just this fellowship or that one. Anybody can come. And since I've been going, I've seen the numbers jump up from they got to be at least 20, 30 people every Friday there in between live, IG, and also Zoom. You know, and it's great, bro. And you know, you gave me that idea too. I might start a PRP Recovery Power meeting, you know, online as well. You know, that's another good one too. You know, you're very, very, the thing I recognize about you being an entrepreneur too, you're very, very intuitive. You are. I know that stuff. I know that about you, and you're super intelligent, bro. Like, you know, you with the readings that you just all came from your brain, you know, that's pretty dope, bro. Like,
I didn't smoke all my brain cells, bro. I smoked a lot of them. I killed a lot of them, but there's still some in there. They're still working for me, bro.
Yeah. Hey, wait. So there's a question here, bro. Here's the question. It's actually from Johnny. So he says, what do you recommend to someone in recovery that wants to become an entrepreneur?
You just do it. You just start. you just start. You have to start somewhere. And no matter how small it is, when you first start, it's all about consistency and working hard and putting in those hours, because everyone's going to start small. Unless like you come into like some crazy money or you got rich parents or something. Like I don't. Like no one gave me any of this stuff, any of this Team 12 stuff that I have. Like I worked for all of it, but I put in crazy hours and I've just remained consistent from the very beginning. Like from the very beginning, I started with an order of 36 shirts. That was like where I started at, like not even 2 years ago, but like I put in the hours like day in, day out. So like if that's what you want to do, if you want to become an entrepreneur, like you stop talking about it and you stop telling your friends, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Because I hear that all the time, like, oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, I think I'm going to do that. Like I hear, you see it on social media, you hear it from other people. And like, there's just a lot of people are all talk, like straight up they are. So like stop talking about it and you just do it and you just start it. And you have to understand, like, you're going to start really small, but you just keep at it. You keep at it. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you, man. Being an entrepreneur, my dad would tell me all these things too, like exactly what you just said. Like, consistency is the key. It's so key, bro. And if you identify as an alcoholic or an addict, you are not a stranger to hard work. We already know how to work hard. That's something that we don't even got to talk about. Like we know how to work hard. It's just like you said, man. We gotta walk the talk. And me, I'm the kind of person who, like, no risk, no reward. Like I'm not afraid to take risks in my life. See, my wife is the opposite though. Like she doesn't like taking risks. So we balance each other out pretty well, because like I can be jumping off the cliff and then she's like, whoa, hang on, wait, let's talk about this first, because I'm active in my addiction. I knew how to take action. Like I could pull the trigger, no problem. And then when I got sober and I learned that the drugs and alcohol was my solution, the real problem I had was me. And I got to learn about myself and work on some of my, character defects and things like that. The person and how I operate still was basically the same. Like I still knew how to take action, and that's what I did. And honestly, that is exactly why I have the life I have today, is because I stopped thinking about it, I stopped talking about it, and I started doing it. And like, period. That's pretty much it. But there's another question that was asked a while ago, Nick. It's from my friend Blair. She asked, what do you do for self-care when you get stressed or when you're down?
I do. It's rare. I do take days off every now and then when I really, when I don't do anything at all and I just chill. But honestly, that's rare. I get I do get stressed, but you know what? Like, I love what I do so much and I'm so passionate about my work and my vision that I just ride with the stress most of the time. Like, honestly, like I ride with it and I keep moving forward, and like I don't like taking days off and I don't like not working. So like sometimes for me, I guess maybe like it comes in like smaller forms of just like stopping everything I'm doing just to like sit down and eat a meal and like enjoy the meal, or like get on the phone with someone and be present with them and actually talk to them for a minute and like give them my undivided attention. I don't like take vacations. I don't take multiple days off in a row. But I do find like those smaller ways to kind of manage my stress by just every now and then, like, I'll lay on the couch here for a half hour, but like that's like the most of it. Like I don't allow a whole lot of downtime.
Yeah, and you know what? I've been around Nick. He's not lying. He's telling the truth. Anytime I'm physically around him, he is working. He's focused. He's driven. He's passionate. And that's something. As in, like, speaking, like, I guess somebody who has been an entrepreneur, you cannot try to be an entrepreneur and you're not passionate about whatever it is. Like, it's guaranteed not gonna work out. Like, my passion for recovery, for helping other people, for starting my Pro Recovery Power, all that kind of stuff. I mean, it literally wakes me up in the morning and it keeps me up at night. I gotta force myself to go to sleep sometimes, Because they say, your dream should never put you to sleep. It should keep you awake. And that's what it does for me. Getting sober wasn't the goal. It's not like, okay, I'm sober and that's the goal. No, that's where everything started. That's where my life started, And like, I know we talked about that too. But wait, I think there's another question. Okay. Nick, have you received any support from family?
Of course, yeah. My family's been riding with me the whole time. Shout out to my mom and my dad. I don't know. You know what? My mom was saying like she was gonna come in here. I don't know if she's in here. She is in there. She is. Hey, mom. My mom is in there. So of course, shout out to my mom and my dad. Like they've always had my back, even like at my worst. Like they kept me at arm's distance, and they love me from across the street sometimes. But like they've always been there. They especially like my mom. Like my mom was always that one person that I could call like when shit got like real bad, and she would take my phone calls and like always advocated for me, like was always like you could do better, you could do better, Nick. Like, she would tell me all the time, pull yourself up by the bootstraps and like, and make a change and stuff like that. But still to like this day, I know like my parents are just a phone call away, and they'll support me like with whatever I need. They really would. So of course, yeah, like a lot. I have a really loving, supportive family.
That's awesome, bro. My mom, it sounds exactly like your mom. It's great. And having that support from family is wonderful. But, there's some people that may watch this that they don't have that support. I've known people like this. And my dad growing up, he always would tell me, and I didn't even understand what the heck he was talking about. And I was young when he started telling me this stuff. But he's telling me, look, if you cannot change your friends, then change your friends. Like he said, if your friends don't want to change what they're doing and their behaviors and stuff, go make some new friends. And early on in recovery, there will be some hard things we got to do, like cut ties with people. And you don't got to tell them, hey, look, my sponsor said I can't hang out with you guys anymore. No, just maybe stop taking the phone calls, start hanging out more with sober people, doing things with them, and changing your environment. Because for me, what I found out when I did stuff like that, my thinking started to change, and in turn my action started to change, behavior started to change, but it is great to have the support though, but for other people may not have it that have seen this. That's what, personally I would suggest, that go out and make some new sober friends, bro, and just immerse yourself around them all the time.
100, bro. I have to share on that, bro, because it's been everything to me. The connections that I've made in sobriety and my sober friends are like the number one thing that helped me move forward, and it's been an absolute game changer. Like you're a product of your environment. So right. When we're out there and we're using and like we're selling drugs and using drugs and surrounded by drug users and sellers, and that's all we do, like that's what you're going to get stuck in, and that's the way that you're going to think, and that's going to keep you stagnant, and you're going to stop growing, and you're not going to move forward. And then getting into recovery, making connections with other sober people is so absolutely vital to recovery. It's everything. Yeah. For me, it's everything. Like their program is many different aspects, but for me, like maintaining those connections with sober people and being connected to a community of sober people is absolutely everything.
Right. So funny. Marcos, he's like facts. Like fax machine.
Marcos is here. Funny thing is, Marcos is here at the shop in the other room.
In the other room.
He's in here chatting. He's in here chatting though.
Oh man, that's hilarious, bro. So, but yeah, no, I definitely agree, man. That's so important and vital. I believe, because if I kept hanging around the same people, I cannot say that I would have the life I have today. And it's not like, I'm not saying that the people that was around me was like evil or like bad people, but like, if I kept hanging around with them, I would continue to be like them. Like you said, we become products of our environment. That's something I learned,
I hang around people who lift me up. I hang around people that have good vibes, positive attitudes, and just like we just want to see each other succeed. Like my closest friends today, like are the epitome of that. Like my closest friends, like we all just want to see each other succeed. And like, we're always pushing each other forward and just like we're just good vibes. Like we just like I vibe with these people, and like and they're there for support, and like they're just positive energy. And you surround yourself with people like that, and you take in that positive energy, and it's a cycle, you know.
Yeah.
Put some out and get some back, and we thrive on that positive energy.
Yeah, and you know, it's great because like you know, in the process of recovery, and you start, you know, you work like the steps and everything, and you know, you surround yourself with people like that. It's not, you know, it's not like we're trying to take advantage of each other. Like we have a sincere desire to be helpful. We are pushing each other up, and you know, it's nothing like how we would be or how I would be maybe in a, like not sober. I never went through the process of getting sober and being in recovery and learning all these things about myself, you know. So it's not like for me personally, like making friends like you and other people I made friends with, you know, I know for a fact people in recovery that I made friends with, they don't want something from me. They're not trying to use me, you know, and things like that. Like they just want to be helpful, and in turn, I want to even do that more with them, with others. You know, just like you said, it's just that cycle, bro. That's great.
Of course, and I shared about it real briefly at the meeting on Friday. I had like someone did like some really dirty stuff to me last weekend, and what came out of it though, like I look past like the negative that came out of it, and I look at the positive that came out of it. The positive that came out of it was I was able to see even more so that I have like some really, really solid people that surround me that are here for me 100%.
Yeah.
That I didn't even quite realize like how much up until like that point. So, you know, like shit like that happens to us, like bad shit is going to happen to us. But, you know, I really strive to like find the silver lining in situations like that. And now I have like a renewed sense of like appreciation and gratitude for some of those that are closest to me.
Right. Let's see. Okay, bro. So at this time, Nick, I'm gonna ask you a few questions, like as we winding down.
Yeah.
So the first one is, what are some things you learned about yourself in recovery?
Bro,
like the good stuff, I mean.
like, bro, everything.
Yeah.
Like everything. Like recovery has been a process of self-discovery. That's the best way I could put it. Like I resemble nothing. I like resemble nothing like the person that I used to be. And it's been a constant process of self-discovery where like I learn new things about myself every day, and the person that I used to be gets more and more foreign to me, more and more like some type of like fucking alien creature where I'm just like, dude, like I can't believe I thought this way or acted this way or did these things. And it's constant. Like it's so like really like I can't even begin to tell you like what I've learned about myself, because it's everything. Like it's a spiritual awakening. It's everything. So you know, there's no easy answer for that.
Yeah, that's great, bro. That's great. Okay, let's see. Next one. Early in recovery, did you have any triggers? If so, what were they and how did you deal with them?
Early in recovery, man, like maybe in when I was still in treatment, sometimes like, you know, I thought of using, there was a couple days in there when I was in treatment where I was like scheming up ways like maybe I could somehow like get high in the treatment center, or like get someone to like bring some drugs in somehow, or like I'm wondering like what the homies out in the streets were doing, and like maybe if they're like come visit me and like bring me some shit. That was like really, really early on. That was really early on, and like I don't get those thoughts like that anymore, and I don't really get triggers to want to use. I don't like I get I don't really. I can't say that I do. Yeah.
You know, I remember it wasn't long. I mean, it was like months. But I really only had one trigger for me, and that was money. Like money would trigger me because you know, if I had it, I was buying dope. And if I remember when I first got sober, I was in a sober living, and I remember talking to my sponsor about this. About, you know, I was afraid to go back to work because, you know, money was a huge trigger. If I got it, I'm gonna get dope. So he asked me to explain the last time I used my last run. And then, you know, I started off by saying, well, I didn't have any money, so I decided to sell my brand new cell phone. And he goes, what? And it's like, oh, okay. So the point he was making is like, look, if we're gonna drink and use, we're gonna figure out how we're gonna drink and use. Like money, no money, it doesn't matter. Job, no job. So that just gave me some sort of a sense of ease and comfort. And I was like, oh, okay, I got it, because I never thought about it like that before ever.
Well, you know what? You know what though? Like I relate to that, and that's very true. And I think actually maybe I went through that in the sense too, in terms of like lack of money, where I had like a reservation that maybe I would fill prescriptions again, or like I would write fake prescriptions again and get the scripts and flip them for money. Yeah. It was like, I don't know if you would call it a trigger, but I guess like maybe more of a reservation, to where, you know, I was I held that in the back of my head of like, okay, like if I don't make enough money working in treatment, I could like supplement my income by printing out some fake scripts and filling them and flipping them. And that, you know, that reservation left after I realized like, hey, like I'm fine. Like I don't worry. I don't need to worry about money. Like I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah, that's good. That's awesome, bro. All right. Okay, next question, Nick. How do you maintain your sobriety today?
Bro, man, I stay connected. I stay connected to other sober people. I nurture those relationships. I stay creative. I remember that my God, like my higher power, if I stay aligned with that idea of God and a higher power, I don't carry a traditional sense of God or like higher power, but like I have my own interpretation and sense of it. And if I stay aligned with that, I'm gonna stay sober, and I'm gonna continue to thrive, and I'm gonna be fine. So I constantly bring myself back to that, and you know, I help others. Man, like I talk to my sponsor. I'm back in step work right now. And you know what? I still work in treatment. I was working full-time in treatment, and I work part-time in treatment now. And that plays a major role in my recovery also. You know, like you'll hear sometimes, and I always kind of hated hearing like, oh, treatment isn't recovery. Like working in treatment isn't recovery. Like, don't, just because you work in treatment, don't think that you have recovery. Like yeah, I understand that you can't allow your job to be 100% of your recovery, but if you work in treatment, that for sure plays a role in your recovery. You can allow it to play a role in your recovery. So like going to work daily and getting to talk to, I'm a facilitator. So I go and I facilitate one group daily. So by going there and showing up and being like surrounded by other sober people and sitting down and getting to talk to other newcomers and facilitate a group, like that's part of my recovery for sure, 100%. So that's just like, that's one of many ways. But like you do things like that. And then when I leave work, like when I leave Impact, I work at the Impact Treatment Center. I always want to say Impact, like everyone knows what it is. And I'm sure that we have some viewers here that like don't know what it is, but so I always have to catch myself. But like when I'm here at the shop in Pasadena, if you're here at the shop in Pasadena, you pretty much know what Impact is. So if I say Impact, like people know what that is. But when I leave Impact, you know, I don't just go home and like sit on the couch like in front of the TV. Like my recovery continues in a different way, you know. Like I come to the shop and I start to get involved with something, and like I start to work, and then like someone like might come over to the shop, and like I get to like connect with someone, and then like all through this, like I'm getting to remain like creative and do like and participate in creative things and let like my creative juices flow, and like all this stuff, like it's all part of like one big personal program of recovery that helps me stay sober like day in, day out.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Because you know, there's many different facets to like maintaining, sustaining, and growing in our sobriety, and a big one for me, like honestly, it sounds like it's a big one for you, really too, and that's being of service to other people. Like that one, It really does help me to maintain my sobriety, because at the time where I'm helping somebody else, I'm not thinking about me. I'm thinking about them, and my whole focus is on helping them what they need, instead of, oh, I don't feel good, I'm hungry, I don't want to do this, I want to do that. Kind of based off all these emotions. I mean, I remember when I first got sober, and then I got to feel everything without drugs and alcohol. Oh man, that sucked. But I mean, it's not like that today, thank God. Okay, here we go. This is a good question. So what, Nick? What's your vision for Team 12 in the future?
Bro, it's big. It's big. It's really big. One thing, one thing that we're gonna complete in 2021 is become an actual nonprofit, 501c3.
Yeah.
I've been doing the research on it. I've been getting some of the things in line that need to be done in order to make that happen. So that's all being worked on. Like, I want to become a nonprofit. We need to become a nonprofit. So one, like, we can allow some tax deductions for the people that make donations. And then also, I want to be able to get more funding from the state. I want to be able to get funding from the state so we can, like, in turn, like, provide more services and play a bigger role in the community, and help more people and touch more lives. Like, that's like one of the biggest goals for 2021 is to become a nonprofit. There's others, man. Like, right now, at the shop we're at right now, I've already been told, like, when I first rented the space, that this building was going to be demoed by the end of this year. So we already know that we're going to have to be out of this spot and into a new place. But the vision for the new place is huge, bro. Like, it's going to be like street level. It's going to be like 2,000-3,000 square feet. It's going to be a community center. It's going to be like doors are open like 24/7. Like, I want to put like a sober bar in there. I want to put like a hookah bar in there. I want to put like just like all kinds of stuff for the community where, like, people can just stop by and just kick it, and like you walk in and there's people chilling, and people are like watching TV, like people are playing video games. Like, it's just going to be like a big, like, sober club. Like, that's the vision. Like, that's not just a vision. Like, this is going to happen. Like, it's already in the process. Like, I'm already scoping out places to go. We're trying to get some of the funding in place. It's going to happen. So it's just a matter of time, and it's just a matter of, like, logistics and some of that. But, like, that's part of the vision. So also, on top of that, clothing donations. Like, I want to get more involved with other treatment centers and other, like, community organizations. Like, I want to link with other community organizations that are doing things for the community. People that are out there, like, helping others. I see them on Instagram, and I'm kind of like scoping them out. And I'm like watching, like, how these brands and these organizations move and the things that they're doing. And I'm just kind of waiting for, like, a better time to where I could, like, really get in there with them and be like, hey, like, let's collaborate on this. Like, let's do this. Like, like, let me join your vision and, like, join ours. Like, let's work off each other. So, that's all in play. That's all in play. The vision's big, bro. Like, Team 12 is a community organization, bro. We're going to keep growing so we can just provide more services and do more things for the community, and, like, have a space for the community to hang out at and be sober. Like, that's
like a safe place for sober people, bro.
Yeah,
bro. That's so great. I mean, we talked about this before, but how, like, me and you, like, our visions, we have, like, it's very, very similar, which is so cool, man. Because I recognize that me and you, we have the faith to make this happen. Like, it's, we can see the future in the present. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, when you see it, you got to seize it. You know what I mean? And that requires us, taking action really on our part as well. But the last question I'm going to ask you while we wrap up, Nick. Oh, wait, somebody asked, where's the new shop going to be? Do you know yet? I know it's kind of further down the road.
Really trying to stay in Pasadena. Hopefully Pasadena. If not Pasadena, like, somewhere really close. Rent in Pasadena is pretty high, like, really high.
Yeah.
So I am considering, like, other nearby cities, like maybe Altadena, maybe like Alhambra, you know, we gotta stay local. Like I'm also like really connected to the Impact Treatment Center that's in Pasadena. So I'm hoping to stay around here, especially so I can link with my work and like have like my work. Impact's a huge facility. They have like 200 people on the facility at any time. So I want to be able to like work with them. So like they can send like their patients, like their newcomers. They can send like their vans that go to meetings. Like they can send their vans to our sober club. And also like I live in Altadena. We're already creating this community like right here in Pasadena, and it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to move very far, but but we'll see. Like we're keeping options open, but hopefully Pasadena. Hopefully.
All right, cool, bro. Okay, Nick. So the last question before we wrap up is, what would you say to somebody that's suffering right now that wants to get sober?
Shit. Go and meet some sober people. Go and meet some sober people and get connected with them. That's the best advice that I can give.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that like if you're going through it right now and you're addicted to something and you can't find your way out, you're probably not hanging around anybody that's sober.
Right.
And so like for me, like it's easy for me to say now with like a sober mind, like you can't, like I put two and two together now and be like, man, like how can you expect yourself to get sober if you're not hanging out with sober people? But that's a lot harder of a connection for someone to make, like when they're in active addiction. So I think like that's a message that I want to get across, is maybe like bring some awareness to someone that is in that state of mind right now, and like basically let them know like, hey, like your brain's a little broken. You need to like get the reason that you're addicted right now and you can't stay sober is because you're not surrounded by sober people. So like get out there and like start to meet some people and like go to meetings, get some phone numbers, go to in-person meetings, like the Zoom meetings. I mean, they're cool, they serve a purpose, but it's not the same. Like it's not the same. Like we need to be like face to face with other recovering addicts and alcoholics and have that like human connection and like look them in the eye and have that opportunity to connect with them like in person, and then like go and hang out with them like after the meeting, and do those things like in person with them. Like the Zoom meetings, like that was my experience. Getting sober was like going to in-person meetings. So of course like I'm gonna be really passionate about in-person meetings. Like I can't imagine getting sober without them. I can't imagine getting sober on Zoom meetings. Like I needed to be around other sober people and I needed to hang around them and connect with them. So that's my advice, is like start there, like go and meet some sober people.
I agree with you. Like people getting sober in the middle of the pandemic, at the beginning, right now, I mean, my hat is off to these people, bro, because they never have the same resources I had when I got sober. And everything was in person. Like, I believe Zoom meetings, I mean, they're good. They're a good substitute, but they will never replace a live meeting, in my opinion. Like, never. I needed the handshakes, the hugs, just the environment, the camaraderie, you know what I mean? Just the whole deal. I needed that, because I grew up that way anyway. I'm very family-oriented. So when I walked into the rooms, everybody's hugging and laughing. I was like, oh, bro, right up my alley. So I felt at home. But okay, Nick, that wraps it up, bro. I was so excited for this event. Thank you so much, for sharing with us, your vision for Team 12, bro. I mean, I support you guys, bro, 100%. I mean, my posts will tell you that. All my posts, you see me on there, so,
Bro, I got a lot of love for you, bro. I really appreciate it. You're a major supporter, bro. And it means so much to me. I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for people like you, bro. And I also got to shout out my partner Marcos, 100, bro. That dude is so solid. And also Johnny GP, Grounded Phoenix, shout outs to both those guys. Like, those are my dudes right there. They're super solid, and like I got a lot of love for them. Just like I got a lot of love for you, bro. Like this is a team effort. Like we make it's all possible. This is all possible. This is only possible because like we join together and we do this,
Yeah, exactly. Because I learned that one is too small a number to do anything significant. Anybody who made a big impact in this world didn't do it by themselves. They did it with a team of people around them that were like-minded and they were going in the same direction. Because it's kind of hard. You get one guy want to go this way, and everybody trying to go that way, kind of thing. But it's great, man. Like Marcos, Johnny, I love those guys too, bro. Like all you guys, I'm so happy that I got you guys in my life. I mean, we're all sober. We all, think very similarly, bro. It's just so great, bro. Oh, I love it, man. But thanks again, Nick. For doing this. I know you're super busy, bro, and I'm not making this stuff up. Nick is very, very busy. Trust me, just trust me. But I'm gonna let you go now, bro, so you can get back to work. But thank you again, man. Much love to you, Nick.
Okay, Alika, thank you very much, bro. Much
Uh,
love.
okay, bro. Aloha. Okay, guys, that was my friend Nick from Team 12. So, if you guys see my post last night and today on my Pro Recovery Power page and my personal page, I'm doing a free shirt giveaway. It ends tonight at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So go ahead, check it out. You guys follow the directions on what you guys can do to win the free shirt. I mean, free anything is good. Anything that's free is good. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Next week is Valentine's Day on the 14th, and I'm not going to be doing the live show on Sunday. I'm going to be doing it Friday and Saturday next week, because I'll be spending Valentine's Day with my wife, of course. But I really appreciate you guys, always tuning in, asking questions. It's great. I mean, I really have so much love and what we call in Hawaii, aloha for you guys. So I appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you.